Informatik AGNGOL TÉTEL. 2 TÉTEL. Onigi Informatik rENDSZERÜZEMELTETtomn segmentata. EG Iskola Onoke. Kurt Fell. Hogi Keset Sik Laz Intezmeni Informatik rENDSZERÜNIK Korsursitize. Anuk. Tervizeze Eskivitelizeze. Mutasabi Angol Nile Venazed Elk Bzalizito. Mgrendel Nek. Resultiza Topologia Esiskos Velaztazokite, El Nayat. Velasolgene. Mgrendel. Kivitaliz Esterint Kurdizaya. A TÉTEL hes Haznalato Sejadeskos, tu Samu Meleklet. Kulksavak, Fogalmuk. Physical and logical topology. Wired and wireless network. Connectivity, access. Desktop, laptop. Bandwidth, availability. Server, cloud services, cloud platform, cloud storage. Physical and logical topology. Logical versus physical topology. A logical topology is how devices appear connected to the user. A physical topology is how they are actually interconnected with wires and cables. For example, in a shared Ethernet network that uses hubs rather than switches, the logical topology appears as if every node is connected to a common bus that runs from node to node. However, its physical topology is a star, in which every node on the network connects to a central hub. See Ethernet and logical versus physical. Logici versus physici topologia. A logicus topologia az, hogia kesulakek hogian ksatla koznaka felasnalahos. A physici topologia az, hogi valaban osza kapsolidnaka visa t kekel esa. Cable ekel. Peldowligi olian megastat ethernet hulathatban, umli kapsolakat. Heliet hubakat haznal, a logici topologia ug jelinek meg, mintha minden. Ksomapant eg olian kazosbuz hos len ksatlakas tartva, umli ksomapantola. Ksomapantig fute. A physici topologia jurazonban ksalug, umlibana hulathat. Minden ksomapantia eg kosponti hubhas ksatlakazik. Lazd, Ethernet s logici. Versus physici. Wired and wireless network. Although the idea of a wired completely wireless home network is compelling, in most cases, a mixed wired /wireless environment will serve your needs better. This week, I outline the basic differences between the two network topologies and give you some guidelines for using and combining them for the best performance. Habaratelgisen visat knelkulai otthuni hulathat otalt lenigs, a letab. Eset beniji veges visatikis /visat knelkulai kanais a joban solgalja az on. Igeniite. Ezana hetan vasalam az alap vet kulonbstjaki akit halosati. Topologia kozat, s megadok nehani iranivonalata lejob telgisat meni. Ileras hes s combinalasahos. The most obvious difference between wired and wireless networking is speed. Wired Ethernet is 100 Mbps, 100 base T, or 10 Mbps, 10 base T. Wireless Ethernet is either 11 Mbps, 802.11b, or 54 Mbps, 802.11a. Few people use 10 base T any longer, 100 base T has replaced it in almost every product. Most network hubs use auto-switching or auto-sensing. The hub can determine the highest performance available to the attached network card and can switch between the two speeds. 10 base T and 100 base T technologies are compatible with each other. With the appropriate hub, you can use them in mixed networks. A vizatikis s a vizatknel kulai halathat kozati legni ilvan velob kulonbska. Sabesk. A vizatikis Ethernet 100 Mbps, 100 base T, Vg 10 Mbps, 10 base T. A vizatknel kulai. Ethernet Vg 11 Mbps, 802.11b, Vg 54 Mbps, 802.11a. Kivisen Haznel Jacka 10 base TT, a 100 base T Sint Minden Termike Felvel Totter. A letab halos 80 hub AZ Automaticus Capxo last. Vg AZ Automaticus Ertekelist Haznelja, a hub mehatarajot Satlakasta tot halos 80 kartya. Legnagi obtel gsat many et sakit sabesk kozati valtaste. A 10 base TS 100 base T technologic. Ejimasal compatibilizk, a meful hub segitskivel veges halathatokban haznalotyakit. The two wireless Ethernet standards aren't compatible with each other. Select the standard you want to use and purchase appropriate equipment for all your computers. As I write this, 802.11a devices cost 2 to 3 times more than 802.11b devices. Although 802.11a and 802.11b standards are in place, you should purchase all your wireless equipment from the same vendor. Experience has shown me that mixing flavors of 802.11 devices and software can add significant complications. For this story's wireless testing, I used access points and client devices from Belkin Components. A kit visat knel kulai Ethernet sabvaninem compatibilis ejimasal. Velasaki. A haznelni kivant sabvanit. S vasaruljan meful berendezest az oszes. Samitajep hes. Mikos ben estirum, a 802.11 a kesulakek kit haromzanagio bak. Minta 802.11 bs kazok. Habara 802.11 a esa 802.11 b sabvinyok vanuk. Veniban. Az oszes visat knel kulai iskost ugian as an agiartital Meve saranaya. A tupastale tok est mutatak, hogia 802.11 eskazok s. Softvarekizenik kevs jelents svtmnai ko kojut. A tortenet visatk. Nel kulai testelis hes hosaf si pontacat su jafeliskos aket haznel tamu. Belkin components are SZRL. In terms of network performance, wireless can't compete with wired networking, even when you compare 11 Mbps wireless with 10 Mbps wired. The best you can hope for is equivalent performance, and you'll rarely receive that. Wireless network performance can vary widely from published specifications. My own experiences have convinced me to expect performances that are about half of the published performance specifications. Even when a wireless network works properly, large file transfers are problematic. I hear numerous Complaints from wireless users about copying large Outlook.psd files from a desktop to a notebook using a wireless link. As file size increases, greater than 100 megabytes, wireless file transfers tend to fail. The second difference between wired and wireless networks is convenience, not needing to run wires is obviously an attractive proposition. But although wireless vendors want you to believe that wireless networking is as simple as plugging in their devices, the reality is quite different. To help, I've written an overview of wired and wireless networking configurations. A halos TÉTEL GSAT many sempontiabola visat knel kulai halathatnem tud. Versani esni a visatikis halathatal, meg arca sem, har oszehasan litura 11 mbps. Visat knel kulai s 10 mbps visatikis capsulatat. A lejob, a mirror. Remanai het, e.g. entktl GSAT many. Estrukan kapya meg. A visatk. Nel kulai halos TÉTEL GSAT many na jaban el taheta kozetita datok tol. Sajat. Tupastale tame megis tetk samomra, hogi olian tel GSAT menit varnak el, umli. A kozetit tel GSAT many specificatiok choral balal filat gelanti. Meg arca is. Hara visat knel kulai halathat mefalelan mdik, anagi. Fajlat vitel problemas. Samos panas terteka visat knel kulai felas nalik. Samara anagi outlook.psd fajlok masalasarol az astali szda with acute mtgprl. Notebookra visat knel kulai capsulatan keras chal. Myvala Fajlmaret Noveli, 100. MB Nalnagiob, a visat knel kulai Fajlok at vital al Taliban Sikatilan. A visatikis s a visat knel kulai halathatok kozatikulonbsk kenilam, a visatikiknem I janilnek nil van valoan vonzo javas latat. Dabara visatk. Nel kulai giartok estseretnek, har el hin, hogia visat knel kulai halathatok. Olyan ejizarek, minta kesulakek ksatlakas tartasa, a velosagajesan mars. Segitskivlata kintetum a visatikis s visat knel kulai halos 80. Configura shokat. Wired and wireless networking configurations. Before I outline a basic configuration for mixed wired and wireless networking, I'm going to make two presumptions. Your network is connected to the internet, and you use the network for more than sharing internet access. If you simply want to share an internet connection among multiple computers, little can go wrong. Regardless of how fast your internet connection is, it will be slower than even a slow wireless connection, so your bottleneck will always be that internet connection. Because of the nature of networking, performance doesn't become a concern until you start moving files between machines on the internal network. Ethernet is a shared bandwidth technology. The available network bandwidth is divided by the number of users on that segment. Let's look at the math. An 11 Mbps network pipe can move, at best, a little less than 1.4 megabyte of data per second. The reality is that you'll rarely exceed more than 1 Mbps. A common bandwidth for LAN-based streaming video is 300 kbps, so at best, you can play 4 concurrent streams at full bandwidth. In reality, you'll likely be limited to 3 streams. Presuming there isn't other network traffic. How about playing music? The average MP3 track is about 3 megabytes, so copying the MP3 file will take about 4 seconds if you have the wireless network to yourself. As you add additional traffic, the copy time increases. If you're playing streaming audio, you have the same problem as when you play streaming video. If you don't have enough bandwidth to play the stream you selected, you'll start to get dropouts, or the selection will stop playing. Visitikis visitgnel halos configurashok. Mielt na media lap vet configurasho a veges visitikis visitgnel halathatok hose. Kit feltetles est fogukteni. A halathat az internethas ksatlakazik, essa halathatot tobat haznolja. Mint az internet hosafares megastasat. Ha egizan megsaretnostani az internet kapsalatat. Tob samitajep kozat, arka kives lahit hibas. Fugital nulatol, hogi az internet kapsalat. Many iagias, la subles. Mint eg lasu visat knel kulai kapsalat, agia szk kerist metsit. Mindig az internet kapsalat les. Ahalathatepits juljmyata telgisat meni nem valik. Agodalomig, amig el nem kesdia fajlok athyes ezayables halathatan lv jepig kozat. Az ethernet eg megastats vsalisk technologia. A rendel Israelo halos 80 save celestje. Ilostia az mens felas naloi sama. Nezuka meta cat, eg 11 mbpsos halos 80 cs. Alejo b set ben kavizeb, mint 14 mb masad perkni iadatot keps memos gatni, a velosagban. Rukan haladotya meg az 1 mbps ot. Alanalapu streaming video kazos save celeste 300 kbps. Agia lejo b set ben nigi ejimas utan photo streamat jatsad teljas save celeste melet. A. Velosagban valsen leg harom stream rekalatos odik, feltetlisv, hogininks mars halos 80. Fugulum. Mi van azenivel. Az atlagus mp3 msasm kb. 3 megabytes, ag az mp3 fachal masalasa kb. 4. Masad piersit vesi genib, ha maganaka visat knel kulai halathatot haznolja. Aragito vabai. 4 gaul matad hoza, a masalaziid megn. Ha streaming hango jatsiklo, arka ugianazo. Problema, minta streaming video lejatsasa, ha ninxelag save celestia kivalaztat adat foliam. Lejatsasahos, elkesdia lemorsalo dast, vagia kivalaztas abahijaja lejatsast. A wired 100 Mbps network gives you at least 9 times the theoretical network bandwidth, but pulling network cable might not be practical or possible in your networking environment. The trick is to combine wired and wireless networking in a manner that maximizes the advantages of each, while minimizing the disadvantages. To help you, I'll walk you through a typical home networking scenario using examples from my home networking experiences. For your wired network, use switched 100 Mbps networking. Using a network switch, rather than a hub, can provide full 100 Mbps bandwidth to each port on the box. Switches are available from Several vendors for less than $200. Most business-grade computers come with a built-in 10/100 network card. Otherwise, you can buy one for less than $25 from major vendors. Make sure that the switch you buy has enough ports for your existing network and any planned expansion. A VZTKIS 100 Mbps OS Halathat AZL Militi Halos 80 Safe Celeste Galab Kylank Sareta Jameg, Dura Halos 80 Cable Kiusasanem Feltetel Null Practicus Vigile Hetzgiza Halos 80 Kanizet Ben A Truck AZ, Hogia VZTKIS Essa Vizat Knel Kulai Halathe Toto Laimo Don Combinal Jack, Hogi Maximalizal Jack Mindagic Elnit, Mycos Ben Minimalizal Jack A Hey Trainio Cat Segitskival Eg Typicus Otthoni Halatha Tepiti Si Fogata Konivit Fogak Vejigjani Asajatlzart Tupastalate Aim Segitskival A VZTKIS Halathathos Haznoljan Capxalt 100 Mbps Halos 80 Capxulatat Halos 80 Capxolo Haznalataval, Nem Pedigigi Hubon, Telges 100 Mbps Save Celeste Jabes Tossit Adobos Mindaniges Portura A Capxolag Tob Mint 200 $bol Retkel A letarbus ulti sint summitajep hesbi patet 10/100. Halos 80 kartyar tartozik, kulon ben $25 kivize bet vazaralatanagiob. Giartok kazal. Gyzdjn megrola, hogia vazaralt kapxolanak elag portyavano. MEGLV halosatanak esaturvzet bvtsnek. For your wireless network, you might choose networking equipment according to what your company office uses if you transport your wireless-capable notebook between office and home. In my case, I swap wireless cards between home and office because my office wireless network uses a high security model, which isn't necessary in my home. And swapping network cards, one shows up as network connection #2, the other as network connection #3, and their connection information is specific to each card, is easier than reconfiguring a card each time I switch wireless environments. Now let's look at how to use your equipment. First, determine your wired network's central location, which might be the location of your file server or where your internet connection enters the house. The more central the location, the better. In my case, the central point is my home office because that's where my internet connection and file servers are. Then determine where your wired connections can reach. My home is a contemporary wood frame structure with a full basement, which makes wiring the house much easier. I placed a network switch in the basement and measured the distance from the switch to where I wanted to come back up to the first floor. I bought pre-made cables in the required lengths. Inexpensive Cat5 cables are available in lengths up to 100 feet, and was able to string wire to all the desired locations on the first floor, for example, stereo rack, kitchen, family room, living room. A vizat knel kulai halathathos halos 80 iskosakit velazthata segiro dajanak. Mefalelan, hara vizat knel kulai al kalmaskodo notebookat irodai esotthoni. Iradak kozat solitia. Azen eastam ben a vizat knel kulai kartyakat azotthoni. SAZ irodi iradak kozat ksaralum, mert AZ iradar visat knel kulai halatheta. Magas bistan sagi modult haznal, Amy otthuni koramini ek kozat nem suxjiz. A. Halozati kartyak ksej, AZEGIK medjalnika tu samu halozati kapk salat, A. Masik pediga 3. Halozati kapk salat, esak satla kozasi adate iazediges kartyakra. Jelemzik, ejizub, minta kartyar at configuralasa mindaniges alkalamul. Amika bekapk solaka visat knel kulai kanizatike. Most nezuk meg, horgian kel haznalni akesulaki. El sur hataras meg. Visatikis halozatanak kosponti heliet, lehita fajalkis olgalo heli, vaji. Olazed internekapk salat balepa hasba, analinkab kospontia heli, anal. Job. Azen eastam bena kosponti pont az.thuni iradam, mert ott van az. Internekapk salat esa fajal serverek. Ezatan hataras meg, hola het ella. Visatikis kapk salatak. Otthonamiji katars fa kere cirkize, eg telges alagsoral, amy sokol. Konai ebtesi has visatike. Halozati kapk solat heli estek laz alagsorban. Es memerta mataval sagata kapk solotol, over visa a kartum turni azls. Emlata. A suxges hos zuzagu kabelike, also cat 5 cabled 100 lab. Hos zuzag ban captum. SAZLs emlatan talalato osses kivant heli, PL. Stereo rack, koniha, ksaladi soba, napali. The network switch in my office connects to my Internet Edge device, a desktop computer running Windows XP and Internet Connection Sharing, ICS, which provides a firewalled Internet connection for all networked computers through my satellite internet connection, my primary office desktop system, and a collection of servers I use for testing. My home network also includes 2 laser printers and 2 inkjet printers that connect to computers on my network's wired section. My music server contains 2 network cards, one attached to each of my 100 Mbps switches, even though the switches themselves are connected through an uplink port. This setup gives all my connected computers enough bandwidth for playing music. This configuration worked well until my kids decided that they needed computers in their bedrooms, which are on the house's 2nd floor. I didn't want to pull cable through the walls from the 1st floor, so it was time to go wireless. I also wanted network connectivity in my garage for my custom car programming hobby, and the garage doesn't have the advantage of basement connectivity. Az iradamban talalato halozati kapk solo az internets perameskojos. Ksatlakazik, a Windows XP SAZ Internet Ksatlakozas Megastars, ICS, operations. Rend futito astali samitajep, umlis falakal elatat. Internekapk salatat biztosit az osses halozati samitajep samara holders. Internekapk salatoman keras chal, az stulges irodi astali rend esa. Testella she haznalt server rekjij temni. Az.thoni halozatum bankit. Liza nyontato eskit tinta sugaras nyontatok is talalatak, umlieka halathat. Vizatikis sarkasaban lv samitajepekes kapsoladnak. Azini serverkit. Halosati kartyate tart ormus, mindagiak 100 mbps kapsolohosksatlakizik, meg. Arka is, hara kapsolak magukis fel flirana ulo portan keras chal. Ksatla koznak. Ezabilitas mindan ksatla kazta tot samitajep samara elegend. Save celeste jabas tositazine lejat sa sahos. Eza configuratio jol mkdtt mindadig, amigajaya miki muji dontotek, hogi. Haloso barjuk ban samitajep pravan sukskuk, umlie has masadik emlitan. Talalato. Neme kartum vizetnia kabelike a falakan azels emlital, ezet. Eichvolt vizet knel kulai. Seretim volna halosati kapsulatat epitneo. Garazomban azedigieni autos programos asi hobijim samara, essa garas nem. Rendel kezik azedalagsri kapsulatal. Here are some key points for wiring your home or small office /home office, Soho. 1. Use wired connections where possible. 2. Use switches, rather than hubs. 3. Test your wireless connectivity before committing to it. 4. If wireless connectivity is necessary, consider using multiple access points for complete coverage. 5. Locate servers on wired connections. 6. Make sure your primary internet connection has a wired connection to your internal network. 7. Consider usage patterns before installing your network. 8. Plan the installation. Cables are inexpensive, so lay out connections, both wired and wireless, before pulling cables through walls. If you have specific questions about your networking installation, post them to our online forum. I'll be there to answer your questions and share my experiences. Imnehani kulks fontosagu pont az.thuni vajikisiro /thuni iradak, Soho, Bekotes hes. Harle hetsjes, Hazneljan vizatikis kapsulatokat. Hazneljan kapsulakata ubok heliet. Testelj mega vizat knel kulai kapsulatat, mielt el konivon. Ha suksjes a vizat knel kulai kapsulat, fontolja meg, hogi top hosaf si pontot hazneljan. Ateljes lefedit seles. A kisol galok mekarazes vizatikis kapsulatakon. Gyzdjn megrola, hogi azl stilges internet kapsulatnak vizatikis kapsulata vanables. Hulathatal. Vegi figulumba haznalati mintakata hulathat telepitselt. Terves megatelepitist. A kabelek olksok. Ezet ksatla kostasa a vizatikiki essa vizatikiki. Meal to kabelike a falakan keras chul huzza. Ha concrete kurdizir vanaka halosati telepitesil kapsulat ban, cool gel kit online forum unkra. OTT lesk, hogi valasoljana kurdizir esos zameg tapastalate. Connectivity, access. IP CAN, or IP Connectivity Access Network, is an access network that provides Internet Protocol, IP, connectivity. 1. The term is usually used in cellular context and usually refers to 3GPP access networks such as GPRS or EDGE, but can be also used to describe wireless LAN, or DSL networks. It was introduced in 3GPP IP multimedia subsystem, IMS, standards. As a generic term referring to any kind of IP-based access network, as IMS put much emphasis on access and service network separation. AZIP can, VGIP hozaf psi halathat, e.g. hozaf psi halathat. Umli Internet Protocol, IP, capsulate art biztosit. 1. A kaif jazest al Taliban. Cellularis context usban haznal jack, s al Taliban 3 GPP hozaf psi halathatokra. PL. GPRS VGEdge, util, de haznalato visat knel kulai lan, VGDSL. Halathatok le Rosara is. Bevzeteka 3 GPP IP Multimedia Sorin Cert, IMS. Sabvinio Cat, Mint Altalanos Kaif Jazest, Umli Barmali NIP Alapu Hozaf Psi. Hulathatra Util, Mival AZIMS Nagi Hangs Hewlett Fecteta Hozaf Psi S. Sol Galtata C Hulathatok Elvalazta Sara. Laptop versus desktop, the basic, but no longer set in stone, division. Back in 2008, laptop sales passed desktops for the first time, and portable devices have entrenched themselves even further as their power increased and prices dropped. Desktops have by no means disappeared, though. Like everything else in computing, the right choice depends on how you're going to use the device. The general division between the two classes of computers goes like this. Laptops suit an on-the-go world. They can be unplugged from an external power source, and taken with you. Typically, they take up less space and don't require you to purchase a separate monitor. Desktops have plenty of positives on their side, as well. Typically, desktops offer more power and expandability at a lower cost. They are also easier to upgrade, repair, and customize, which is why they often remain the choice for serious gamers. They also tend to come with better speakers, more peripheral options, and larger keyboards. That said, there are no hard and fast rules anymore. Some new mini-desktop computers are as small and inconspicuous as laptops. And nowadays, laptops can offer the same power and performance as you can get from almost any desktop. All in one, turning PCs on their side. The capabilities of today's desktop computer have evolved considerably. The clearest example of this can be seen in the all-in-one AIO computer, which turns the idea of the PC on its side. Literally. AIOs blur the lines between desktops and laptops with a large touch screen and a built-in battery so you can easily prop it up, lay it down, or unplug it and move it to any room in the house. These computers can even be mounted on the wall to create, stream, and share HD content, play online games as a family, or listen to music. All-in-one PCs can cost more than the traditional desktop and be more difficult to upgrade, but they provide a space-saving, stylish alternative to the traditional home computer. Laptop vs Astali, AZ Alap, Denem Tob, Mintak Ben, Ostali. 2008 Ban a laptop Erteki Satizir El Sur at Mentek AZ Astali Samitajepigr, Esa. Hordajato Eskazok Megto Vaburstek, Myval Telgisat Menu NTTS AZ Arik. Ksik Kentek. AZ Astali Jepik Semikepen Semtentekel. Mint Minden Mars. Samitas Teknika Easterban, Ahilis Velastas Atol Fug, Hogi and Fogja. Haznolni AZ Iskost. Akit Samita Jepastali Altalanos Ostalyaraji Megi. A laptop Kavilagan is Mefalelnek. Lalehit Husni EGKLSer and Forus Roll. S Magavel Viae. Al Taliban Kevs Heliet Foglnak L, S Nemi Janilnek Kulong. Monitor Mevetlit. AZ Astala Krenjatig Positive Umatis Tart Olmasnak AZ Oldalukon. AZ Astali. Samitajepik Al Taliban Najiob Telgisat Menit Espfetsget Kinalnak. Alak Sonyab Koltsjik Melet. Konai eb frisitni, harvitani es testrasabni. Ezat jikran maradnaka velaztas a kamoli jate kosak samara. Job. Hang sarokal, top periferias opsioval es nagiob bilantais tekel is jonek. Es ast gelanti, hogi ninksink kimeni estias sabaliak. Nehani ajmini astali. Samitajep Olian Kiksi Eskivesb Figilim Ramelto, Mint a laptopik. Napyankban. A laptopik Ugian Olian Telgisat Menit S Telgisat Menit Niuyutanak, Mint Sint. Minden a stall roll. All in one, a PCKL Forditasa AZ Oldalukon. Amaya Stali Samitajep Kepisgia Gelantsen Fejeltek. Alegniel van Valob. Pelder atop functios kesulek, AIO, SZA with acute MTGPRL, umliso sarinta. Samitajep otel te olja fel. AZAIOKL homily osatyak AZ astali samitajepik. Esa laptopik kozitivanale katnagi rintk panival SB pitet. Accumulatoral. Agi konai eng feltolthatai, lateni vajiki hujotia, s. Athlyajatae has barmeli sobajaba. Ezika samitajepik a car falra is. Felsarel het hd tartolmak letri hos asahos, kosvetitizahis s megos to sahos. Online jatko kat jat sotnak salad kent, vajiznet hol gathatnak. AZ all-in-one samitajepik tobat kolthetneka hijyomanios astalan, s. Nehizeben fristhetk, dura hijyomanios otthoni samitajep helitakerikos s. Still usos alternative aja. Bandwidth availability and requirements. Bandwidth availability plays an important role when utilizing VoIP or WebRTC services. If you do not have enough bandwidth or available bandwidth when making calls, you might experience voice quality problems which could result in choppy voice, breakup symptoms, and a poor user experience. A common question asked by our customers is how much of their current bandwidth is required to maintain good quality for voice calls. To answer this, start by asking yourself a few key questions. What is the actual data upload and download speed that your internet service provider, ISP, delivers? What other services and applications on your network consume a portion of that available bandwidth? Are there quality of service, QoS, settings that you can adjust to optimize your network for VoIP? How many concurrent calls do you expect to receive in your contact center? It helps to know how much bandwidth you really have. However, your ISP may only be able to confirm what you signed up for, also known as the advertised up to value, as in up to 50 Mbps, or up to 150 Mbps. The best way to determine your bandwidth is to run a throughput test using a site like www.speedtest.net. You can also monitor your bandwidth availability through your router or access layer 3 switches. If you know that your ISP can sustain a certain speed, simply multiply the number of expected concurrent calls by 100 kbps. A good solution would be to add the safety margin mentioned above, so that you can sustain the required bandwidth, even when your internet service falters. For example, 10 concurrent users would require 1 Mbps, 10x 100 kbps x safety margin, which means that you should allow for 5 to 10 Mbps both up and down, depending on the other services and applications using your internet connection and on the capabilities of your router. 3 to 5 Mbps may be sufficient, or you may need to increase your bandwidth. This chart will give you an indication of the bandwidth requirements for high-quality voice. Performance. Number of concurrent calls. Minimum required bandwidth. Recommended speed 1. 100 kbps up and down. 3 Mbps up and down. 300 kbps up and down. 3 Mbps up and down. 500 kbps up and down. 5 Mbps up and down. 10 1 Mbps up and down. 5 to 10 Mbps up and down. Safe seleskelhetskovitel. A safe seleskelhetsk fontos serepajadzika voip vagia web RTC. Solgaltata sok haznalitaka. Harninxelag safe selestj vagi rendel A low safe celestia hiva sok kezdemeniz seka, L4 dulit, hogi hangmanski. Problemakat tarpastal, mliek halk hanghos, felsakita si tune tekez s rose. Felasnaloy elmenihis vizethenik. Azu jafelak altal feltet altalanos kurds, hogi mekora safe celesk suksjiz. A hangivasok jo minsnek fentata sahos. Enek mevelassolasa hos kesdel. Nehani kulkskurds feltivzivel. Mi az atenalages a dat feltoltis is letoltc sabesk, mliet az. Internet solgaltatoniuyt. Mlienigi eb solgaltata sokat s alkalmaza sokat haznalahalathat bano. Rendel kizizra alo safe seleskiji reset. Vani minsky solgaltatas, koes, bilitas, mliet bilithata halathat. Optimalize alasara voip solgaltata shoj. Hani pahuzamos hivest kappa kapxalat kospont ban. Segit tugni, hogi meni I safe selesk van vala haben. Az internet solgaltato. Azonban ksik arka tujamigasani, hogi abagelant kizet maximum. Teki. A car 50 Mbps vg 150 Mbps tekig is bagelant kizet. A safe selesk mehataros asanak lemefalelb moja eg at vitally test. Futatasa eg olian web heli haznalatavel, mint a www.speedtest.net. A safe selesk elhetsk ruten vagia hosaf sireteg 3. Kapxologen keraschal is elenritsitai. Hartudod, hogi az internet solgaltato keps eg bizonios sabesj fentartni. Egizen saporit sa megawatt egid hivasok samat 100 kbps sa besegel. Jo megel das lena fenim light bistan sagi tartelek hozada sahos, hogia. Suxjes save celeste fentarthasa, megarka is, ha az internets. Sol galtartasa mebetlik. Peldal 10 egid felasnalanark 1 mbps, 10x 100 kbps x bistan sagi margo. Suxjes, Amy est gelanti, hogi a car 5 to 10 mbps subesj is engidlegit mind. Felf, mind lefel. Atolfgen, hogi az internekapsalat saz ut velazto. Kepisgia milyenigi sol galtartasikal al kalmazasikal rendel kesnek, 3 to 5 mbps lahit elegend. Vgi set leg novelny kella save celeste. As a table that bemutatura save celeste kovatel many ita kivalo hang minsk. Erdik zeben. Azegid hivasok sama minimalisan suxjes save celeste java sold sabesk. 1. 100 kbps felfles lefel 3 mbps felfles lefel. 300 kbps felfles lefel 3 mbps felfles lefel. 500 kbps felfles lefel 5 mbps felfles lefel. 10 1 mbps felfles lefel 5 to 10 mbps felfles lefel. Server, cloud services, cloud platform, cloud storage. Cloud storage. When the average person first thinks about cloud storage, they will likely think about storing files. Example, songs, videos, and applications, on a remote server to be retrieved from multiple devices. Anytime he or she needs them. This is correct. Cloud storage is essentially a system that allows you to store data on the internet, as you would save on a computer. Whether you're talking about Google Drive, Dropbox, or iCloud, the definition of cloud storage remains the same. It enables you to upload data through the internet to cloud-based servers. Once you've stored your data on the cloud, you or any other person you give access to, can then go ahead and access it from multiple devices using the internet as a medium. Businesses use cloud storage to store documents and share them with others. It helps in preserving your important documents and files while at the same time giving you a better opportunity to collaborate on a project with other people through data sharing. Personally, you can use it to store media files and emails. It gives you almost unlimited data storage space. Also, it's cheaper and more secure than traditional storage mediums. No wonder cloud storage is quickly replacing physical storage systems. Cloud computing. You use cloud storage to save and keep data. Cloud computing, on the other hand, is used to work on and complete specified projects. Cloud computing is linked with cloud storage in that you have to move data to the cloud storage, before you can make use of cloud computing systems. Once the data is moved to the cloud, however, you or someone else can process it into useful material and send it back to you. An example of cloud computing is software as a service, SaaS, where you input data on software and the data is transformed remotely through a software interface. without your computer being involved. Cloud computing is gaining ground in the digital and business world. This is because of its numerous benefits. It ensures better collaboration, transparency, efficiency, and innovation in its solutions. It also reduces barriers to communication and gives you access to a wider audience, including customers and contractors. Some distinguishing factors between cloud storage and cloud computing include: 1. Cloud computing requires higher processing power than cloud storage. Cloud storage, on the other hand, needs more storage space. 2. Cloud computing is essentially targeted towards businesses. Cloud storage, on the other hand, is utilized both for professional and personal reasons. 3. Cloud storage is simply a data storage and sharing medium, while cloud computing gives you the ability to remotely work on and transform data, for example, coding an application remotely. These are the essential differences between cloud storage and cloud computing systems. Inasmuch as they are interconnected, they are different concepts and shouldn't be muddled up. Cloud storage. Amica az atlagas seemly el gondol codica fel tarolasserol, valsen legatavoli. Kisolgalon tarult fajlok, peldowl, delok, vidiakes al kalmazasok, tarolasara gondol, umliekatob. Isksel lekanai kel bomica, amica suxjvan rajuk. Es helis. A fel tarolasa lanajiban. E.g. Olian Rendsa, lehet v tesi az adatok tarolasat az internetan, aragian asamita jepe. Mantenai. A kara Google Drive role, a Dropbox role vg az iCloud role vanso, a fel tarolazi. Definisho harmigejazik. Lehet v tesi az adatok internetan trtn fel toltis a felalap. Kisolgalok hose. Mutan taralta az adata kata fel ben, on, vg barmeli mars seemly, akink. Hosafarist biztosit, arka tovabmeni s hosafanai tobiskslazed internet segitskivel, mint. Medium. A valal kozasoka fel ben taral jakadokumenchimokat, s megastiak kit massacre. Segito. Fontos dokumenchimok s fajlokum grusben, ugianaka job lahetsget kainalara, hogi mars. Emberekal Egyptmktvdolgozan ki a datumgastasal. Seemly sarinta mida fajlok se. Malek taro lasara haznalotia. Sint kalatlan adatarolat biztosit. Tovabar olksobes. Biztan sagasub, minta hijyomanios tarolazi eskazok. Nemk soda, hogia fel tarologiasan. Helieta citia physicae tarolo rendsareke. Felalapu samitas technica. Az adatok mentizahis s tarolasa hos fel tarolast haznal. A felalap samitas technicatas onban. A mehatarazot projectek kidolgas asara s befijas ezir haznal jack. A cloud computing. Kapsoladica fel tarolashoj, myvala datakat kel fel tarolas, athyesni, milt. Felalap samitas technicae rendsareke haznalut. Mutanazed datakat athyes taka felb, on. Vajivaleki mars haznos anyag kent fel dolgojotya s visadotya onek. A cloud computing. E.g. ikpeldajura software as a service, SaaS, software, Aolasoft verekadatainak bevitl saz. A date octaval roll trt en atalakitasa softvias felultan keras chal tortenik, anal kal, hogio. Samitajet prest kelin veni. A felalap samitas technica igaya novexica digitalis s uzulti vilagban. Enexnhet. Samos elni. Harvitya az egyptmst, az at lathatosago, a hate canisago saz innovatio. Megaldes iban. Ksak kenti tovabara communicatio acadaliat, s hosafarist biztosit salisib. Kazonseles, baliat vaz ujafelikit s avalal kazokatis. Nehani mekalbs tetnai as a fel tarolo s a cloud computing kozit. A cloud computing negiob fel dolgazasi telgisit menit igenil, mint a fel tarolasara. A fel tarolasa vicent negiob tar heliet igenil. A cloud computing a lap vitan avalal cosa soak filiraniol. A fel tarolas vicent. Professionalis s similizo kokbol is kai hasnalato. A fel tarolasa aegis anigi adatarolo s megasto adathordozo, mega felalap. A dat fel dolgazas le het vtesi az a date octaval roll trt en fel dolgazasat s atalakitasat, pel dauligi. Al calmazas tavoli kodalasat. Ezik alanages kulonbsjik a fel tarolo s a cloud computing rENDSZERÜK kozit. Armenia. Kap solidnak ejimashoj, ezik klnbz fogalmak, s nem sabad el gondoladni. 8